wholeness, presence, embodiment, wisdom. Welcome to my channel. Embodied self-awareness, it's really the ability to feel and sense your body in a present moment without judging it. It's also like feeling the movement you are doing, maybe a stillness, a posture, anything that happens with your body in a present moment. Many people mistaken the self-awareness or have the self-awareness that is more conceptual, which means you are in the story of something. You might be telling a story of the past, of the future, some plans you have, a vision, something that's happened. And this is more, you are being in the story, rather you are being informed by the story. So you don't know what's going on with you, within you, when you tell the story. And that's the difference. Embodied self-awareness also takes us into the present moment. And that's because we can only feel and sense in a present moment. Most people spend their time in conceptual self-awareness, and that's simply because we were never taught how to be present to our body, how to feel it, how to sense it. And just to give you also like an example of that is, imagine you are telling a story about what is happening at work, and maybe it includes some colleagues, and you are angry at one of your colleagues, right? So you keep on telling the story and you're trying to find a solution or resolution to this conflict, but you keep repeating the same story. You keep repeating what's happened with you, what someone said, what you said, but you are not really, if you don't pay attention to what's happening with you, you're really missing a lot of information and wisdom from your body. Because you don't know if when you tell the story, what's happening with you, so inside of you, in your body, what's the emotional field, what's the physical field, and that will be the embodied self-awareness. That will be the kind of new set of information that you could use to understand what is going on actually when you talk about what's happening, and how maybe you can use this new information to resolve that conflict. Why is embodied self-awareness important? This all comes down to one word, which is choice. The greater the embodied self-awareness, the greater possibility that when you answer to whatever is happening in the moment, you will be at choice. Simply because you will be more in the moment and you will have more information to understand what's happening. So you have greater choice. And awareness creates the choice. If you are aware of what's really happening with you, in the moment, you will also, the greater your own embodied self-awareness, the more you understand what's happening with the other person in front of you. It's really both. And your decisions are then rooted really in the full spectrum of your intelligence. Not only one part, which is very often based on intellectual, what we know, what we don't know, and the past story or the informations that you gathered from something, but it's really rooted in the full intelligence of your whole being. So you also get better in many areas of your life that are important, and those areas you can kind of divide into two blocks. One is related to yourself, so you start understanding yourself, your own behavior better, who you are, what's important for you, what triggers you, what not, what makes you happy, and so on. And so with that, you improve your well-being or flourishing or satisfaction of life or satisfaction in your life in general, right? Second part is you become more resilient. And resilience is really bouncing back from the stress. When you're under stress, resilience means you are able to bounce back to be regulated. And embodied self-awareness brings you to the present moment, so you can feel that you're under stress, that you can maybe tired, you're angry, you are overwhelmed. Maybe sometimes you just need a glass of water, right? Maybe it's that simple. Or a walk, or a fresh air, or stand up and shake it off. So that's what embodied self-awareness can help you with in terms of resilience. And the third area would be ability to adapt. The adaptation is getting higher. And adaptation is really says how you deal with change or how you deal with uncertainty. And we live in times where uncertainty is something that is very present, and many people are not really good at dealing with it. Simply also because they don't understand what's happening if something new is coming. And the stress, the anxiety, the fear is stored in the body, and it has certain sensations, feelings, shapes of your body. The more you understand it, the more you actually are maybe afraid of a change. It's not the change that is so hard, it's just this feeling that's happening with you, right? So those are those 3 areas or 4 areas related to yourself. The other part I said was there was another one which is connected to how are you in relationship with others. So the greater your embodied self-awareness, the more you feel yourself, the more you are becoming empathic, which strengthens your relationship with others. It also, you are able to build deeper connections because you can be with people even when they are stressed, or if they are sad or happy, because you can stay with emotions, you can stay with different sensations. You know what's yours, you know what's others, you know probably when you start also building not only self-awareness but working with your body, you know how to ground yourself so you're not being triggered by others people emotions. So deeper connections, right? And deeper empathy, deeper connections. And very often this also leads to, when you're in a conflict with other people, it's easier to find a resolution. So to finish the conflict with resolutions, again, because you have just access to this whole spectrum of information or intelligence, different type of intelligence. What happens when you start building your embodied self-awareness is really that you start listening to your body, how it speaks and communicates with you, right? And for each person, it's going to be different. So, which means that you start to learn when your body sends those signals, or it feels this way, that this is good. This is something good. This is something bad. Here I'm angry, here I'm frustrated, here I'm afraid or tired. It's almost like you start learning communicating with your body. Everyone has a different ways of expressing emotions. And emotions are really the physical sensations and our conceptual meaning we are making out of the sensations. So we sense something in our body, and our brain give us a clue, this feels this way, and this is fear. For some people, might feel the same way, and this is excitement, right? So you start really learning what your body is communicating to you. It's almost like learning a new language. And it's really useful to know that, because very often when I work with people, people don't know if they're sad, or if they're happy, or if it's good or bad. It's really, even like at the beginning, sometimes it's like, I don't know what I feel, right? So you really start with physical sensations that you can feel, like pain, or like I'm small, or I feel like I stand tall when I talk about this. I'm being, maybe it's a proud, like I'm being proud, or I'm leaning forward. I want to get to know you, or I want to help you, right? I'm giving myself to you. So it's really that. And so there's always 3 components to that. So there is the physical sensations and what is happening with your body. So what do you feel in your body? Is there a contraction somewhere? Is there a pain? Is it like you feel like you are narrowing, making yourself small? Or maybe you're standing tall and you're very broad? Are there any parts of your body like moving forward, maybe some backwards? Maybe your hips are to the front or to the back, or you crossing your legs, like like you closing yourself, or you opening. And also, like, you start noticing, notice what's happening inside. Like, I feel a pain, or and this pain has maybe a sharp shape, and maybe it's a sharp pain, or maybe it's like something nudging me, or I feel tingling, or I feel cold, I feel hot. So all physical sensations, that's kind of one part of it. Then once you kind of allocate that in you go to what are the emotions, or what's your mood? And at the beginning, maybe you are able to say it's good or bad. And then maybe you like good like what, right? Yeah, like you're being happy, or good like you being relaxed. And so you start to kind of broaden your emotional vocabulary. What is really good is to actually to write down the names of different emotions, or to really even search for a list of emotions and check with yourself, is it this? Is it happiness? Is it joy? Is it I don't know, like feeling uplifted, crazy, cheeky? Which kind of shade of that happy emotion it is, right? So emotional state or your mood. And then check with yourself, what's the quality of your thoughts? Do you think that in this moment when you're like that and there is this emotional state of you, do you think like the world is a good place? Is it a safe place? Is it the place that supports you? Do you feel safe? You like, this is my place, I can do whatever I want? Or is it a place of danger, place where I have no say, I cannot do anything? So those 3 things: physical sensation, emotional sensations or emotions, mood, and quality of your thoughts. And if you start doing this over and over again, you will start noticing some patterns. You will start noticing that when you're being triggered and you are angry, you're like that because you fight, right? And you're tense and you're into the front and your voice is louder, right? But when you're sad, you kind of want to, like, you make yourself smaller, rounder, or something is happening, right? And so that's really the first step, like, to work with this embodied self-awareness. And if you start noticing those patterns, you can start playing with them. Because maybe if you are angry, you want to bring your shape of your body when you are compassionate, when you are open. So instead of being that in the meeting, you actually start to open yourself and just feel safe. Okay, actually it's nothing danger here. There is no danger in this space. It's just me fighting for what I believe. So let's be open. Let's listen to the other person, what they want to say. But I don't need to fight. I don't need to be angry that they have a different opinion. How to build the embodiment self-awareness? So one way is, like I said, like really check with yourself. What's your physical state? What's your emotional state? What's your mental state, right? And you can do it in as many times as you want a day, and start really noticing some patterns, how you behave when you're in this situation, in that situation, and just also do it not only when you're triggered, but when you're happy. So you can really set an alarm once every hour and just check it very quickly. Take it 1 minute and see how it feels, what's the emotions, what's the quality of your thoughts in any given moment, right? Write it down. And then there are other practices that will help you a lot, and they're long-term practices like yoga. Because yoga, if you go to yoga classes, very often teachers will tell you and lead you through exercises with breath exercise and paying attention and noticing your body and so on, right? So yoga, meditation, as long as really directed at you, also sensing yourself, not only there are types of meditation maybe that you need to put attention on the outside, not on yourself. So try to actually practice that you put attention on yourself. That's more helpful. So you are being in your body rather you being somewhere outside. Mindfulness is just being present in the moment of what's happening. Any body work therapies, if you work with someone who touches you and how does this feel, body work, rolfing is really good, is one method of that. Then also martial arts and dance, if you dance more consciously. And also being in the nature with animals, anything to do with the nature, when you pay attention to the nature, to yourself in that moment. Now, there are distinctions between like yoga, mindfulness, meditation, if you're alone in the nature, to martial arts, dance, maybe body work. The difference is that in the first group, you are alone with yourself. So you pay attention to yourself, what's happening in those moments, and it's great, you're learning that. And you're with yourself, right? So sometimes this won't translate how you behave with others. I mean, you still build self-awareness. It's really great because you are actually building your vocabulary, building the understanding of different sensations and postures in your body. Yet there's something different when you start working with another person and they will, like you're here and they're here and you're in front of yourself or next to yourself. And something will happen when they come closer or you come closer. That's in martial arts, if you have to have a sparring with someone else, and they will trigger you in some different ways. They will give you some impulse and you need to respond, and you give them impulse, they respond. So it's also amazing opportunity to learn how you respond to those different impulses. It's almost like I don't know if it's a next level, but it's a little bit different way of building this self-awareness when you're in relationship with others. The same happens in dancing when you dance with someone. And I know it from my own experience. I love dancing and I go and in social dancing, it's very interesting that you have different people coming to you asking you to dance, or you go out and you ask someone to dance. And there is this, like you meeting someone and your body starts to react in a different ways, right? And sometimes you feel like you being pulled, and sometimes there is a fight. Like, how do you dance when someone leads and leads badly, or someone leads very good, or there is almost like no connection between you both, right? So there is something will happen also in the body. So you can work with the body and see what are your reactions in those moments, and you actually can change those reactions and get yourself more centered when you start working with the body. So the question is like, what would I recommend doing, or how to build this embodied self-awareness? I think it's actually everything is working. I think it's good to start checking with yourself, really, this short checks, what's going on physically with me, mentally, emotionally. Plus, do some more mindful type of body work, like yoga or even mindful dance movement, because that helps you to have the vocabulary and understanding of your body yourself. And then if you go to the world and you start doing martial arts, you start doing dance, you kind of with people, also social interacting, start checking what's going on with you then there. It's so there is something that is important maybe to understand, that if you want to be able to, let's say, be centered and respond from a centered place to someone that usually triggers you, you cannot practice that in the moment when you meet them. You have to practice this before. And which means like you have to know your automatic reaction. So like how my body reacts, what's the emotions coming up, what are the stories I'm telling in my head when I meet with this person. And so it's first that, and then you want to also think about yourself when are the moments where you actually are able to respond to someone else or in any other situation in a very centered, balanced way. And this way you would like to respond to this person. And think about how you respond when you're super balanced, when you're relaxed, when you're on ease, and get that into your body and practice this. Practice this quite a lot. So it's like you building the muscles, right? Your automatic reactions, like, I don't know, let's say fighting, always going and fighting against this person, is like the muscles that you train for 20 years. Now you're building a new muscle, so you really have to build it, and you have to imagine doing it and feeling in your body when you're like that multiple times. So it's 300 times for our body to learn that. And in literature, they say 3,000 times for this to become your second nature. So it's quite a lot of practicing that you can actually, once you meet this person again, you will be at choice. And what creates the choice is the awareness. And the awareness, this embodied awareness, is like, oh, again, I'm leaning forward. Again, like I'm tense, right? So, okay, let's relax. That's the first step. And once you have that and you're at choice, maybe you're even able, once you build the capacity by practicing capacity of new response, maybe you're able to answer in a new way. And that's just needs practice. How to grow your embodied self-awareness, right? I mentioned this short method of just checking what's going on physically, emotionally, and mentally with you in any given moment. So this is going to be a short practice, and as I'm talking, please just follow my voice and check with yourself what's happening with you. So think about the moment when something triggers you, something or someone triggers you. Let's start from that, because that usually brings something more in our bodies. Someone or something, some situation triggers you. And notice in your body, maybe the strongest sensation straight away. In which part of your body you feel some kind of reaction to that, even to that thought. And if you notice whether it's like your chest, belly, maybe shoulders, neck, whatever, jaw, whatever that is. And in your head, just notice if it's like it's painful, or if something it's maybe if it's sharp, and how strong is this feeling. If this is a sensation that is kind of stable, like something is pressing you, or maybe it's something that is moving within you. And notice if there is a temperature, you could say, if you become cold, if this place in you becomes colder or hotter. And also, what does it do to the rest of your body because of that? And when you are in this sensation, notice what's the posture, like you naturally went in. Whether you got more tense or relaxed, like you became narrower, you maybe close your body or you open it. Are you leaning to one of the sides? Are you leaning backwards, forwards? Are your legs to the front or to the back? Are you like, just be curious about your body. Are there parts of your body that want to be protected or hide in this moment? Or are you open? Simply notice what's going on. Also, are you shorter or taller? And now, when you have that all kind of available for you, see what's your underlying mood when you think about this situation, when you are in this position, when you feel your body this way. Is there emotion? Is it pleasant, unpleasant? How are you feeling? Whatever you can name. And if you can say only it's good or bad, or pleasant, unpleasant, then is it unpleasant like what? Or pleasant like what? And now, what are the qualities of your thoughts? What are you thinking about yourself? About the situation? About the world? So that will be the first part, really, like just simply noticing and becoming more aware. What are the sensations, emotions, movements, and the qualities of your thoughts? How do you see yourself, this person, in that moment? The next level of this exercise would be, think about yourself when you felt like on ease and everything was perfect, and the life was good, maybe some happy moments. And notice what your body naturally would do. Like, has the posture changed? Do you want to stand up, open your arms, whatever happens? Go to this happy place of your. And when you go to this happy place of you, notice any sensations and the movements in your body. Notice what's different. Pay attention to your jaw, your shoulders, your chest, belly, hips. Are they open? Are they closed? Are you standing taller or shorter? Are you wider? What is the temperature that you feel now? And just simply feel it without judging it. Maybe there is even a color that shows up right now. And think about the emotions that are coming up. What's your mood here? What's your underlying emotions in this place? And from that place, what do you know about yourself? What do you know about the world? And what do you know about the situation that was triggering you in the last scenario? So, simply notice. So that would be one way of working with what's here right now, with building, first, like we were building embodied self-awareness. You were understanding what's going on when you are triggered and when you are more happy place, right? And also like just simply notice the physicality of it, the emotional state of it, and the mental state of it. Just pay attention. And once you have kind of, it's like a little bit of a blueprint that you feel and sense. Once you have it, you can practice this place of being happy. You can practice and you start from really the physicality of it.